OKFM 101.7.
Oh, right, Dennis Miracle Aboagye, aid ma former Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahamoud Bawumia. Na menini ni nkobo. Mira me mo ache.
Na so me other than say do me so na for the line na kitesi. Isaac no was. Me tie wu na na mu da hoko mu ase do.
Yeah. Isaac
Yeah.
you ye Isaac Communications. Yeah. Ebemre. Na Mira Bawumia na what say?
Ebi edun de bibi aka ho bi nti bibi ana eze ehwe no me asa na nine.
Yeah.
Isaac. Yo. Jamia do no ye pa, jamia da roma no ye pa.
Na maba wo nchen no pe ya na no mokoi mpani ko hia wo National Council no ne ade na decision e ba abonte adodo no adi hu nkomo eye se modin sumi nsia simwanim 31st January 2026 mo beto aba ayi mo eye mo flag bearer enkomo e bisi sa top bottom approach no enye sabi mi ankasa mi nua pani boache jaako wo fa kofie jaako eba wo se sabi ya adamo na enkomo ye tisei
O so da say em say amada roma mitimi nya kwan ewia me ho ekotie bi mitimi ya me de meni ko bi ewo meeting na se na yidikan mebo members of the National Council about so boni be say agency with which last 3 days meeting no omo handle party no your reformation roadmap ni your rebuilding agenda no na indika I don't know bibia let me say some jamana we communication obi na dem recade phrase top bottom approach better abontina all of a sudden abe subject matter because there is nowhere in the National Council deliberations and the National Council recommendations are you will be from the top bottom mumu. Hello.
Na me waso dia me bi sense
be anyho but if he and will be afraid as a top bottom there is nothing like top bottom. We are not using top bottom approach anywhere. You see, and no crampono is flawed. But you see, Rakwame, someone may be saying,
na maja wo kwato esoro no wo wi ansa na started the base of it enye top bottom any
enya no kre
sa okay chimo
see a phone na vacancy ho bottom mo there ye ni vacancy ho a phone na vacancy ho bottom ho ye ni vacancy ho and there is nothing like okwato esoro ho na we are beto fm there is no vacancy at the bottom no ya to wie ya fele ameno ka say bottom mo mpinfo ho a omo time nya nso ye enti eno ye be ni den because over beto wo presidential elections on 31st January and me na me want me mandate and me mandate no so ye no wo be even what you do before faba na but follow
me follow
enti that assertion also is not entirely correct. Ye ni vacancy or bottom. All the polling station executives across the country, constituency executives across the country, regional executives across the country, electoral area coordinators here and there. Omo time in Sonia, omo mandate in Sonia. At the moment, any vacancy or maybe a vacancy in a year presidential candidate. Now, see me, I say, but just to near can first of all, me know you are dream, and I only me by dream say MPP. We are in extraordinary times. Me pacho me boa. What do I am meant to online?
Me pacho me also pa na with him.
Hello.
With him any pe be argument so say. Hello.
Hello.
Pacho to me nka.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Akimiwako. Mana ebe ye. Oba.
Bema.
Net is saying.
Menko.
Ko.
Metrosu our daily guide obokrata emu. Na me story e okata fe to so ensia. Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly SA. Awo beye ensiesi adwumadie kese bi. Memin da June busumi ne da etoso aduonu baako. Na wo mu ye de biebie kwam esan se King Maswati a otoso miensa. Owo Eswatini oba ensahye ewo Kumasi ye bedwa anase Kumasi kropon no emu. Na weye abrempon ensahye esan se oyo himpon mu a ewo Eswatini emre bia atwam ne friend Swaziland enti oba Kumasi na ochesa asantini otumfo se tutu otoso mienu e na ato nsa afre Eswatini hinin a woba ne nsa ara no besase June busume ne de toso aduonu nan e de kopem ne da etoso aduonu enwotwe enti Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly e de ato shops akese ne nketoa businesses e wo Kumasi nyina anim se efisia no pa no nsia e de kopem awia dumienu obi antoto ne shops mu na obi anfa ne ho nyi saa ensiesi adwumadi a wode asi wani so no emu na ema Kumasi ente na edi Garden City no empie ebra Eswatini hene eba ensahwe June busume ne de toso aduonu ennan e de kopem ne da etoso aduonu enwochi wo kyese Kumasi de obi anim asantefo gi awowo ama kyese ebusuo awowo yesu no danso kra enti omben krabehwe kwan so ama yefe na mamre ni amane enso de Eswatini hene no omde bebo no enti wei aye dwumadie sonko a Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly ne mpanyifo edi gu akwam na wo mode abie kwam ama Eswatini hene ebra oba ensahwe ewo kropon no emo daily guide and the story aba awo kratafa etoso ensia
We mudi be ye. We Mami ko Yero Dennis Miracle Aboagye asaba yensa kan bio. Mesa mo kwa ba.
Any TBI reka sevie. Umpo. Enti. When me buy adwin say MPP we are in extraordinary times in Baton War.
Sure.
What it means is that I say yeah extraordinary things. You to me yeah near man say ya de bia na ye no. In such extraordinary moments. International Council Choir, no much from Bobo. You say one of the biggest challenges you will see, and say, and you can patriotic party anymore. The more to it is a Okasa over reorganization for ENFA, and I say ENFA. And Rockam, I'll explain to you quickly. When the police station at Metwaba, like a Methodist Primary A police station. Before this, I call it the Methodist Primary A police station. Nipa 5 no. But I say me support Brian. But I say me support Kennedy Japan. Me and say you support Dr. Bawumia. Omu nyina so ya no pa de so mutimu an say e kwa on be fa so a omo candidate no e betumi wini a future presidential primary elections in the party. Enti yen ko mobilize the party no e wo police station where there and plans no in fact almost 5 no krampo no they don't even see themselves sitting together to plan because yeah it is the agenda ni na say am I a candidate to win it is a new big kasa about Rana Champo Canada Japan and I said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia MPP team say Kwame Nkrumah kese na be frame meeting na miracles emma because miracles see say Kwame Nkrumah kese frame meeting no ama Brian Sir Isaac na be frame meeting na Kwame Nkrumah kese emma because Kwame Nkrumah kese Brian and Sir Isaac frame meeting no ama Bawumia miracles na be frame meeting na Isaac emma because Isaac so frame meeting no ama Kennedy Japan sa enti the so called Yanchitri party no Yamboa party na no for months ya dey aka nyina no it is not working and of course it won't work because there is a gap in leadership in the party. Yabako elections the flag of the party no must be borne by somebody must bear that flag because there is a vacancy in you know. There don't seem to be a common figure. You know, mobilize I rally around that figure. It will be an lawyer the opet, hoping say, or no the figure now no fees over to me can win that election. And this will make a show you a age-long problem in the party. And yet nothing. Because in your party, a party of individuals with substance. Party will be a little bit our capacity. And at every point in time of vacancy, and you'll be a fair, meme to me. And so long as a young decided and you'll be a pay towards that. But immediately I'll be elected flag bearer, not party the module. Party the module because at that point, I'm in Kumasi Kesie, Isaac, miracles. Yenu inside you nipa nevi. Enti mimi nipo Isaac nipo. And yeah, there, obenya bibi etrim. Enti at that point, you carry a bom na for the year party nejuma. Enti if anybody believes that we need to reorganize the party and we need to focus on the party, then that person must understand why it was very important for the National Council to recommend an early presidential primary. Early presidential primary is to ensure that we can get our reorganization of the party going and going properly. Without that, the area is a waste of complete time of the party and it would not work. Now, based on this, in fact, initial proposition it was for December 2025 at the meeting. However, there were constitutional incumbents at least from the date of the announcement to the election, it said to be 6 months. And no, and a 31st January, I'm saying date, by a National Council, and for me, it is one of the most important decisions that the National Council has taken towards the restructuring and reorganization of the party. Immediately a flag bearer is elected. Party at once. Because then there is no longer a motivation for anybody to disagree with each other. You say disagreement because of different interests in who becomes the flag bearer. And no, I don't know, about 90% of it, that is what it is. But immediately, everybody will come together and rally around that leader. Number two, advantage the woman say, when you are going to do your reorganization and remobilization, you are doing it to rally everybody around a figure and a vision. You can't mobilize people without the people knowing what they are working towards. You can't mobilize people without the people knowing a mobilization. And yes, a petty. It's who you cry and but then once we have a flag bearer, then the flag bearer becomes the figure, the father figure, the person that everybody is looking up to, and that is where the mobilization and the rallying around would be. That advantage and a crucial, that strategy and I can tell you say every day I waste time, I delay on the election of our presidential candidate. Now you have problems, and the noise in our party, and also. Opa, and then, Kasa will be our radio, so now I for MPP for. We also wait for Brian, wait for Ken, wait for Bawumia, wait for Aboagye, wait for say, and the reason is because everybody believes that Yenyan to Abankwa, the Mimini Pabi to Mevini. But that assertion will settle once and for all once we have a leader. Then it makes it easy. And don't also another miracle say Yankoya Party Juma or sorry Prekopaba. We are running it around this particular figure and this particular leader. And that is why the National Council thought say it was important for us to have an early presidential primaries. Any presidential primaries also sign boa. Emma party no etuminya embre a turn your candidate no share 2024 elections. And this is for a elect or flag bearer about 2 years before the elections. Ye elect a flag bearer to do by December 2023 answer all ready. So basically he had just about 10 or 11 months to campaign. But in opposition, you need to have your presidential candidate as early as you can. Now then he can provide the alternative leadership for the people of this country. Now and that is why this was important.
Now Mamusa Odibio, Ebinu so adwin your mo say. say kura no mie kwan for campaigning enti omo eso wo pepa se omo so begina bi no se mo bie kura na beka bia be 4 months to time amode be primaries no there's 4 months or 5 months no obey then what me dia tour the whole country constituencies no any a polling stations ni na be then what me ai
na so bia be 5 months sa kwe se yakwa kwetu emeka Usain Bolt ene azamenti a ofi Ghana omuka so omukọ Olympic Games a se munyina mu begia line no so ya bo pian sa munyina mutu enti advantage na wo mu find the advantage over the other
eno aye no obi di nkoma o raise point bi say mo thank you to na mo concern na ye campaign
thank you to your campaign o Ghana ha eduba Bawumia nso nkwana thank you to your campaign
asemu
senior the fact is that me no can say a friend say no miles our Jamaica or your training every day because when him say that be Olympic Games do so that's on prayer obekobi meboa
ani
Ghana Benjamin Azamenti so no so your training say that be as Olympic Games do so that's on prayer obekobi meboa enti time no so na say International Olympic Committee ka say yebeko Olympics no September na say yes say Branau ka say Mr. Usain Bolt and I say Noah Miles baby enti mame time kaka ka ho na je say so won ready won ye Olympic athlete won ye Olympic athlete ade na ye nyina ekura the same time enne ye nyina ye nim say ye beto abey 31 December ye nyina ye prepare ko enti sa wo ka say won to me 5 months and prepare and you're ready for the election. And you're about 12 months to our home to me. You're about 13 months to our home to me. In this particular instance, I don't think there's an advantage for anybody. May I always say it. Say, you're quite about to say, open some who you be lose. I had to be complaining. Or no such a complaining, baby, not just say, or no, likely say,
oh, but bet to be swap, but say, and near ma, or more nebia organizers and now be woman. In the favor of a particular candidate. Seems to be to me that's how.
And in this case, candidates been a favor no.
Say omo ekamu say time no kura apart from time no swa no chese enzem bebre
senior ye kura say nya time ni bi kan ho ye pe nti na me so be complain na kan ho yes so time ni sa e so mo a omo fe bi kan ho man
omo fe bi kan na enya bebre ho ati
ene kan ho man
mama na was na me senya mpanso fama why
ya me share o mama onia and na mama kan last one this issue of top bottom no Michelle party nin ka bibia sai bottom na le ba beto ba don't forget 31st January no enye appointment and enye acclamation enye election no so enye polling station executives na e ba beto it enye bottom no na e ba beto at the moment your bottom dey e woni pa nyina order da bibia enye obia na e top it is obika say ade na musi dan na mo ba be muni foundation na mo ye roofer the person is getting it wrong. The foundation is there. We have party executives across the country. They are the foundation of the party.
Bias, yes, that mobato abankwa. Tenure of office no ebewu December. It by the time amoba mobato abankwa na tenure of office na expire. Sana tie.
I know the National Council the National Conference in the determined time ayebeto sanko for no swaba. Until they still hold the mandate to run the polling stations and run the constituencies.
And Mami Musa, will be some correction say, what can I say? NDC for a bottom top approach, you know, woman crisis was one two and woman crisis be a
Mr. Crisis, men can't NDC crisis as I haven't said anything. Men can't NDC crisis. The only time I'm candidate 2 years ahead of time. That's what I said.
Okay.
Then can't NDC for them for more. NDC for your candidate 2 years ahead of time, so you gave them enough time to campaign.
But na approach na mumu use say here no the NDC from the basro.
Na say the NDC from na for the beto about 31 January. And you from for the beto about.
Hey, mebo omo ne beto aba batemu ko yisoro no
ye ko yisoro that so what the vacancy police the vacancy wo hwe ne
afa na mu bia ma be yi form
e form for time nso ye to ka fe ya mento wase
okay
me no ka say if na vacancy wo
yesoro
e form vacancy wo
e form de omo nyina tam chuku
exactly omo time nso ye nti de na okay
mate
over the period no this is not the time ye presidential candidate so I just say ye may have time kakra and then we are in extraordinary times medical church the enti an be here say ye be a candidate in them at the time ye be a candidate no the polling station executives on that wo but you in the past no it's on say time ye presidential candidate no wait take a 20 by the time I even drew a mama so no police station executives the time I expire so and that is why we see it like that. But at the moment we have the bottom intact. Foundation is there. It's Yoko Bubu Foundation, whether or new Yoko Bubu. That's how 200,000, 280,000 foundation or Momoyampa Momo NBC and Omoya grassroots in India. There's nothing like top bottom approach. If you be better, there's nothing like that. Bottom na the to be top because top na vacancy.
Okay. And your mama na was na me say nyampam fam ma opa. Why? Bye bye. Ora Dennis Miracle Aboagye and the ene twetwe nkom loke 101.7 suni. Na in the studio me pa cho onua kan che onua na odofo kan che odofo na MPP ma
okayfm 101.7